So I think one of the things that maybe culturally we didn't understand that we should understand better now is the importance of being together with others and spending time with others, and how that impacts both your mental health and your physical health. I think we all know that if you're sitting by yourself having dinner because maybe your family's away or whatever, you're less inclined to make a full meal, a proper, well-balanced meal. You're more inclined to say, I'll just make something quick, or maybe I'll grab takeout or that sort of thing. But if you're having a meal with family and sitting down with somebody, there's a much different feeling to that. And we are, by nature, I think we're social beings, and we like to spend time with each other and with other people that have similar interests to us in a lot of cases. During the COVID years, there was a lot of worry and trepidation about what might happen, what was around the corner. And I think as we come out of that, people start to understand the level of experience and knowledge that, particularly in senior care and senior living, that we have. The professionals that we have working for us, the extent that we go through, and the policies and procedures that we have in place to make sure we can look after people and take care of them in a safe environment. I think there was a lot of confusion over what retirement living was prior to COVID, and there's still some of that now. But I think that's changing, and people are understanding that a little bit better. Really focused on building thoughtful residences. And what I mean by that is we typically build new residences. We don't usually acquire somebody else's property, or we don't do conversions. So we typically build from scratch, from ground up. And some of the things that we've learned over time, we've been around for about 45 years now. What we've learned over time is what seniors want, what residents want. And so each time we go and build a new home, we go through a process we call lessons learned, and we talk both what do we learn from a construction standpoint, but also what do we learn from an operations standpoint on what are our residents enjoying, what do they think we should have done differently, and then we incorporate that into the next change, the next design. We have definitely seen a change. We used to build, when we built a new residence, it would be independent living. And now when we build properties, we're building a continuum of care. So we're building in memory care and assisted living options so that we have households for that. And now most recently, we're building senior focused apartments so that there's an opportunity to, as needs progress, to stay in the same location. And be able to access the services when you need them, as you need them, with the various levels of care. So we've definitely seen that change. So we've definitely, we've expanded. I'll just talk about life enrichment. There's many things that we've done, but I'll talk about life enrichment and what that means. And when people used to think about resident activities, they used to think, oh, well, maybe it's a bus trip somewhere, or maybe it's bingo, and it's far beyond that these days. We have a Meet Me at the MoMA program, which is all about understanding art from the Museum of Modern Art, MoMA, in New York, and we have a program there that allows residents to study and understand a piece of artwork, and then have an opportunity to paint their interpretation of that piece of artwork. In some cases, they're painting something like Starry Night, and they are painting it and trying to replicate what they have seen, what Monet did. And in other cases, they are painting their version of Starry Night. But that's an example of life enrichment activities. Obviously, things that help promote brain health, help promote physical health are really important to us. We are constantly looking at exercise programs and that help our residents live healthier, longer, and incorporating those into it. Food and beverage is another great example. There was a time in our industry when we thought that our responsibility was to decide what was the healthiest options for our residents to eat. And we had dietitians running the food and beverage program, and which are great individuals and have provide a great service to our society in general. But when you are a resident at 80 years old or 85 years old, you get to choose what it is you want. So, for example, if you want to have on Friday, you want to have a battered deep fried piece of fish with French fries because that's what you always did. You know, Friday nights were always fish and chips night. Then we're going to make that available to you. Now, we're also going to have a healthy option that says we have a baked piece of salmon with sweet potato fries, which is a healthier option for you to choose. But if you want to have deep fried fish and chips on Friday night, we're going to make that accommodation for you. Because it again goes back to being resident centric and allowing the resident to make the choices for themselves, which they've done all their lives. I definitely think going forward, the resident of the future, and maybe I'm jumping ahead a little bit, is going to require us to be even more bespoke, more tailored to what they want, when they want it, how they want it, more so than the prior generations. I think they will expect and demand a higher level of service. I think retirement residents would say, well, we need to have a chapel. Well, that fits one group of people's needs maybe, but it's being able to recognize that there are religious and cultural differences that require you to have more adaptive spaces that cater to each individual resident's need. Certainly food is a huge part of that. And being able to adapt and flex to the dietary needs. We're certainly seeing many more requests from dietary preferences, as well as different ethnic cuisines, and being able to offer those to future residents. And then also being able to provide connections or provide family settings where family members can come in and feel just as comfortable there as they did when they went to visit their parent or their loved one at home. So making sure that we're adapting in that regard as well. Making sure that the people that we are hiring and bringing into the company fundamentally have the empathy piece that is a fundamental part of their DNA, that they have a genuine desire to serve seniors and find it very fulfilling to do that. We can't teach that. We teach most other skills. We can't teach empathy for seniors. So that's why we focus on that when we hire and make sure we're getting that sort of individual coming on board with our company. And then we'll train the skills and help them develop those. I think we're becoming a better understood industry for prospective employees as well. I think particularly care staff have recognized that what we're doing and what we're providing, so we are a great alternative for somebody who is a healthcare worker and is potentially raising a young family. We're a great alternative to working in a hospital setting where you're often working shift work and overnight shifts and that sort of thing. It's an alternative and a little bit easier on people's personal lives. Retirement residences to a larger group of people. Right now, people. There is a significant cost to finding a site, acquiring it, building it, and staffing that. So the raw product costs or raw building costs just to build a residence, but then the operating costs are high. They're high for a number of reasons. Property taxes, labor is our single biggest component, and the wage rates have been rising in that area. And we have a fairly high level of staffing to residents, that ratio. So from an economic standpoint, where we are locating and being in neighborhoods or city center locations or close to city center locations, it's expensive. It's expensive to be in those neighborhoods. If we were out in a rural setting, the cost of land would certainly be much lower, and the development charges would be lower, and property taxes would be lower. But so that's part of it. And then that's why I think to broaden or make it more available to a broader group of people is that what I mentioned before is providing a voucher system where they can. It is an opportunity for people that are at a slightly lower position economically to be able to access retirement care or to access home care or other forms of care that they need to. But again, it's flexibility. So I think that's going to be a key part of things going forward is that affordability concept. Technology will be really important. I think the AI as it gets refined as it relates to people's health, and that I think will be really important. So there's certainly lots of wearable devices right now that we all know that provide feedback on your health and what you're doing that's healthy or what you should be doing to improve your health. But I think that will evolve. I mean, right now, you can go out and get a device that provides cardio rhythms to you within minutes, and it's a little handheld device that you can use at any time and provide that information to your doctor or to a healthcare provider. That's just one example. And then I think we will find that there are more advances in that area of predictive technology that will help us care for residents. Memory care services, I think we will see that there's, despite all the great work that's being done in terms of research with around dementia, Alzheimer's being one type of dementia. There's a lot of great work being done there, but there hasn't been a lot of breakthroughs in terms of being able to assist people living with dementia. So I think that will continue to be a demand that we see in the industry where, and just by virtue of the number of people that are aging in the baby boomer population, I think that we'll just see a greater demand in the industry for memory care.